Hello, good morning, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are not new. My name is Amy. I'm on a 120-pound weight loss journey. We are halfway there. Today, we are talking about Mary's Mini versus Potato Reset. What are the differences? How is it the same? Let's talk about that. Really hope that phrase is not patented by Good Morning. Good Mythical Morning. Oh well. Hi, hello. I have sat to the side today because I want to put things on your screen. So we have the room. I have my horribly drawn Venn diagram as my notes. Quick flash. Yeah, it's not going to look like that on the screen. Okay, it's going to look pretty. So today we are talking about Potato Reset versus Mary's Mini. And I get this question a lot. What's the difference? How are they the same? Well, we're going to talk about it. So let's start a little bit with the background of both. So Mary's Mini was founded by Mary and John McDougall. He is the author of The Starch Solution. That is his wife. And so Mary's Mini was founded by them back in the 1980s. It's called Mary's Mini. It's by Dr. John McDougall's wife. And it is part of the Starch Solution. And it is on their Starch Solution part of their website. I'm also going to link the information for both of these down below. So that's where that came from. Potato Reset was founded by a lovely lady called Janine. She goes by Potato Wisdom on Instagram. And she founded the Potato Reset a little bit more recently. And she used it to help her lose a ton of weight. Hers is loosely based, sort of, from what I understand. There's a guy named Spudfit who only ate potatoes for a whole year. Now, that's not what Potato Reset is, but it's more focused on that. So we're going to first talk about them individually, and then we're going to talk about the similarities. And you'll see the similarities as we go through it. So what is Mary's Mini? Mary's Mini is typically 10 days. You can do more, but is a 10-day or more diet. They do use that word, where you pick a starch as your main starch, and a starch being potatoes and beans, rice, corn, quinoa, yeah, that. So you pick your starch and you eat that as the main source of your calories every day for the 10 days, all 3 meals, okay? You pair that starch with a non-starchy vegetable. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, lettuce, cucumbers, long list. Non-starchy vegetable. You can have 1 piece of fruit a day on it. Now, the thing with this is if you choose potatoes as your starch, for example, you either pick white potatoes or sweet potatoes. By white potatoes, I mean you can obviously use like russet, Yukon Gold, red potatoes, purple potato, whatever. Or you pick sweet potatoes because they do have different starch contents, nutrient densities, all that kind of stuff. It's different. So you pick sweet potato or white potato. Rice, they prefer to do brown rice. People have done white rice. Brown rice is just more satisfying. It's got higher fiber, all that good stuff. So white rice can be done. Brown rice is what they suggest. If you pick beans, that is going to be your main starch. Winter squash is not an option because it is an odd middle where it's more calorie dense than a non-starch vegetable, but it's not as calorie dense as a starch, so you can't eat it as just a starch because you won't be eating enough. So winter squash, you're just gonna have to put them aside for the 10 days. Just set them. Some people do longer than 10. I've done a 14-day Mary's Mini. Some people do shorter, like a mini, like 7 days, 5 days. But 10 days is really what they recommend the minimum to do to get the best results. So Mary's Mini, you pick a starch, you pick some non-starchy veggies, you eat the two together, 50-50 plate as per the Starch Solution, and that's what you do. You can have 1 piece of fruit a day. Condiments and sauces. You can have things like soy sauce, ketchup, mustard, balsamic vinegar, well, vinegars in general. You can have pretty much any of that you want. You can do salt, you can do seasonings, you can do all that. Beverages, coffee, tea, and sparkling waters, no soda or anything like that, of course. Coffee, they recommend like an unsweetened plant milk, so unsweetened almond milk, something like that, or no sugar. But they're a little bit more lenient when it comes to the coffee. They're like, you know, some people You have your coffee the same way every day. You don't want to change it. That's totally fine. You can have up to a couple tablespoons a day, they say, for sweeteners. You know, don't be adding a bunch of sugar to everything, but if you're eating ketchup, that's fine. Barbecue sauce, whatever. And you don't want to have any fats on Mary's Mini. So no avocado, nuts, seeds, oil, obviously. It's not part of the starch solution anyway. So yeah, no fats. That's pretty much it. Now, when I say no fats, everybody goes, oh my God, no fats. Okay, all plant foods inherently have small amounts of fat. So, but no overt fats, no additional fats, no ranch made from cashews, no avocado, no any of that. And once you find your starch, you stick to it. So when you're having, if you're doing, for example, potatoes, and you want something on your potatoes, you don't make a chili that has lentils and beans and put that on the potatoes like you normally would. If you want potatoes, you have a simple dipping sauce with it or a simple dressing with it. You don't put other starches with it and then do your veggie, if that makes sense. So the goal of the starch, or it's not starch solution, Mary's Mini, is to make eating as simple as possible and to reset your taste buds and to get results quick. Okay, so that's Mary's Mini. Let's go to Potato Reset. Potato Reset is quite different, actually. Potato Reset, you only eat potatoes as your starch. You don't choose your starch. Potatoes are your starch. But you can do sweet potatoes. You can do all forms of potato. What I mean by all forms of potatoes is not the French fried potatoes from the supermarket. I mean white potato, sweet potato, Japanese potato, whatever kind of potato you want to eat, it's potato. As long as it's potato, you can have it. And no fruit. Not even one piece. So no fruit at all. 2 tablespoons max of a sweetener per day. So that could be like maple syrup. So if you're having like a Dijon dressing or something, you want maple syrup. 2 tablespoons max of sweetener per day. And limit salt. Don't cook with salt. She recommends not adding salt. Time frame for this is 7 days to 6 months. So 7 days minimum. 6 months, I mean, you could do longer than 6 months, she says, but 7 days is the minimum you want to do this in order to see results, reset your taste buds, all that stuff. Beverages, tea, black coffee, carbonated waters, that kind of thing as well. Okay, that was real simple because, well, and no nuts, seeds, and all that. So Potato Reset, it's all potatoes. That's your starch, no choosing. Mary's Mini, you get to pick your starch. Potato Reset, you don't have to include a bunch of veggies. So now I'm going to start kind of comparing and contrasting. Mary's Mini, they still want you to do a 50-50 plate of potatoes and non-starchy veggie. Potato Reset, if you just want to eat potatoes, it's totally fine. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. So potatoes, if you're doing Mary's Mini, they suggest that when you're hungry, you go back for your starch and your veggie. Potato Reset, if you're hungry, you could just eat the potato, in theory. Okay? So let's, now that we've kind of got basic here, let's see how they're similar. Both of them, you're going to eliminate any kind of soda or sweetened beverage. Like I said, the coffee is a little controversial, but if that's how you have it every morning, that's how you have it. So no sweetened beverages, no artificially sweetened beverages, none of that. You're going to avoid winter squash as well on Potato Reset because it's that weird little category. So just set your winter squash aside. I know we love butternut squash soup. Just put it to the side for now. It'll be there when you get back. Unlimited non-starchy veggies. Even though the Potato Reset isn't as I can't think of the word I want. Even though the Potato Reset doesn't really necessarily say to include a ton of non-starchy non-starchy vegetables, blah, 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 you can eat as many as you want. They're literally 100 calories per pound. She says you can eat as many you want, but if you just want potatoes, you can just eat potatoes. With the Mary's Mini, they recommend, even when you're eating potatoes, you still pair a non-starchy vegetable with that, okay? But with either one, you can eat unlimited non-starchy vegetables. You're hungry, you want a snack, and you want some carrots, you can eat the carrots. You're still hungry, eat some more veggies. You can do that however you want. Of course, now, when it comes to fruit, because I get this question a lot, what's the process about fruit? Mary's Mini allows one, Potato Reset, not. And she has a YouTube video on why that is. And I will be linking the stuff down below, like I said. Both of them, you're going to be avoiding oils, avocado, nuts, seeds, and all that jazz. You're not going to be adding any overt fats. That's basically the whole point. So there's that. And then the length of time can vary for both of them. Like I said, 10 days for the Mary's Mini, 7 days for the Potato Reset is the recommended. You can go much longer if you want to on both. It's up to you. And obviously, here's what I say with both of these. They're both yours. Nobody is here monitoring you. This is not, you're not getting paid for a scientific study and a clinical trial where you have to eat this particular way or something happens and you have a contract. I don't know what happens, but you have a contract, right? This is a contract with yourself. So you can take these and you can modify them. I've done Mary's Mini 3 times. I eat more than 1 piece of fruit a day if I want it. Sometimes I didn't want any fruit at all. Sometimes I wanted like 2 or 3 pieces of fruit. So you can modify it. The one thing they both recommend though, avoid the fats. That is the whole point of it basically, to reset your taste buds to simple eating. And fats we tend to crave, right? You get that nice lovely dopamine hit. And so getting rid of the avocado was the hardest part of doing Potato Reset or Mary's Mini for me. Holy moly, it was hard. And then getting rid of like cashew based sauces. That was a very loud plane. Getting rid of like cashew ranch and stuff like that. And obviously on this, I don't feel like I have to say it, but I will. No pasta, no like refined products. So no bread, no pasta, no snack cakes, none of that. Whenever I say you're eating basic, you are literally eating the starch, the vegetable, and then if you're doing Mary's Mini, you're eating the fruit. And that is it. So you're going to want to avoid artificial sweeteners on both of them, like I said. And for both of them, they recommend meal prep being is key because you are only going to stick to this if you make it easy for yourself. Okay, let me tell you, if you have to cook potatoes 3 times a day in like 3 different ways, you're not going to eat them. It's not very, okay, maybe you will, but you're like 1% of the people, okay? Make it easy. Meal prep is key for either one, whether you're doing Potato Reset or you're doing rice for the Mary's Mini or beans or whatever. Have them in your fridge, have them ready to cook and prepare a different way. Or already have like mashed potatoes in the fridge and some steamed potatoes so you can make air fried potatoes, whatever. Have stuff ready. Have your veggies cut in containers, whatever you need to do. Make it easy for you. That is the thing with both of these, is that they are meant to be very basic, simple, boring, mundane. But make them easy, because I will tell you, when the boring and mundane gets really boring and mundane, but it's still easy, you're more likely to do it. So have them ready, because I will tell you, I've done Mary's Mini, like I said, several times, and I did the Potato Reset once. When you run out of potatoes and you don't have potatoes cooked, everything else in your house sounds really delicious right then. But if you have potatoes cooked and you open the fridge and you see potatoes, you're like, well, might as well have potato. So that's what they say for both of them. What is the point of doing either one? The point is to reset your taste buds, get results quickly, like I mentioned earlier, and to just eat simply. To get back on track, to restart, to maybe start off your journey. It really is a good reset. It makes you enjoy simple foods more. I will tell you, when I did Mary's Mini and I ate a lot of broccoli does taste sweet. It really does. If you just eat broccoli like by itself, it is actually sweet. And you might not believe me. But once you've only eaten like potatoes and vegetables for 14 days or 7 days or whatever it is, or 10 days, you really start to taste the food. And that's kind of the point, is to like get back to what those things taste like without all of these toppings and additional things that we add, which keep it exciting. The point is to get back to food as a basic, as nourishment, and not as something we eat emotionally or binge eating or anything like that. It is to reset back to listen to hunger cues, eat when you're hungry, eat till you're full, and just reset. Now, this is one thing that I will say with both of these. You will have to eat more than you think you do. And you're like, how? That doesn't make sense. When you're eating like this, especially the first couple of days, you're going to be much hungrier than you realize, because it is very difficult to overeat on potatoes. For example, with Mary's Mini, you can choose, but whatever. It is very, very difficult to overeat calorie-wise on potatoes and vegetables. It's close to impossible. I mean, it could be done. But by themselves, they are very low calorie foods. So you are going to have to eat a lot more than you think you will. You have to be eating till you're full and satisfied. And then if you're hungry in a couple of hours, several hours later, eat more, okay? Do not starve yourself. Don't think, oh, I just ate a little bit ago, I can't be hungry again. If you are actually hungry, please eat. That's the thing that I have to stress with these. And I just hosted a Mary's Mini via Instagram, and everybody was like, I'm so hungry, I have a headache or whatever. I was like, have you eaten enough? Because if you feel that way, you probably have not eaten enough. So eat a lot of potatoes or whatever your starch is. Eat a lot of vegetables and just eat until you're full and satisfied. Now, don't overeat until you feel sick, but eat, and then if you need to eat again later, like I said, make sure you have something prepped and in the fridge, and then you eat as much as you need. It will be very, very hard for you to overeat doing either one of these. I mean, you have to, it's almost impossible to overeat eating this simply. So that's why it makes it great weight loss foods, and it makes it great to basically lose quick, because you're cutting out all the junk. You're cutting out all the other stuff, and you're eating very basic low calorie foods. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on those bell notifications, and let me know down below if you've done either one of these, what your experience was. Did you like it? Would you do it again? And I will catch you in the next video. Bye.